Here's a question. Would you rather have $50 right now or $100 1 year from today? If you're like most people, your gut says take the 50. It's instant, it's certain, and it's right there. But here's the strange part. If I asked you, would you rather have $50 in 5 years or $100 in 6 years? Almost everyone picks the 100. Same 1-year wait, same doubling of money. Completely different decision. And the reason your answers are inconsistent reveals one of the most important discoveries in behavioral economics: hyperbolic discounting. Hyperbolic discounting is the human tendency to prefer smaller immediate rewards over larger, delayed ones, but only when the immediate reward is close in time. When both options are far in the future, we suddenly become perfectly rational. This isn't a character flaw. It's not about discipline or willpower. It's the architecture of your brain. And it's the single biggest reason most people can't save money. The concept was first formalized by psychologist George Ainslie in the 1970s. Classical economics assumed that humans discount the future at a constant rate, meaning if you'd trade $100 next year for $95 today, you'd also trade $100 in 11 years for $95 in 10 years. Ainslie proved this was wrong. Human time preference follows a hyperbolic curve, not an exponential one. We dramatically overvalue the immediate present compared to even the very near future. 1 week feels like eternity when you're waiting for a paycheck, but the difference between 10 years and 11 years feels like nothing. In 2004, Samuel McClure and Jonathan Cohen at Princeton used fMRI brain imaging to see exactly what happens inside your head during these decisions. They discovered something remarkable. 2 completely separate brain systems activate depending on the time frame. When an immediate reward is available, the limbic system lights up, the same emotional impulsive region that responds to food, sex, and danger. It floods your brain with dopamine and screams, "Take it now." But when both options are in the future, the prefrontal cortex takes over, your rational planning brain. This region calmly calculates that 100 is better than 50 and waits patiently. The problem? When an immediate reward is on the table, the limbic system fires faster and louder than the prefrontal cortex. Your emotional brain literally hijacks the decision before your rational brain can finish its calculation. This is not a metaphor. It is measurable, observable neuroscience. This is exactly what Walter Mischel captured in his famous Stanford Marshmallow experiment in 1972. He gave 4-year-old children a simple choice: eat 1 marshmallow now or wait 15 minutes and get 2 marshmallows. The children who couldn't wait didn't lack discipline. Their limbic systems simply overpowered their still developing prefrontal cortex. And here's the stunning long-term finding. When Mischel followed up decades later, the children who waited had higher SAT scores, lower body mass indexes, better social skills, and significantly more savings as adults. The ability to resist hyperbolic discounting at age 4 predicted financial outcomes literally wired to sabotage your savings. What can you do? The research offers 5 powerful strategies. Strategy number 1: commitment devices. Harvard economist David Laibson coined the term golden eggs to describe money you intentionally make difficult to access. His research shows that when people lock their savings in accounts with withdrawal penalties, like 401k plans, IRAs, or fixed-term deposits, their total savings increase by 50 to 200% compared to people with the same income and fully liquid savings. The key insight is that commitment devices don't fight your impulses. They make it irrelevant whether you have impulses or not. You can't spend what you can't access. Strategy number 2: automate everything. Richard Thaler and Shlomo Benartzi designed the Save More Tomorrow program, which we mentioned in an earlier video. Instead of asking people to save more right now, which triggers loss aversion and hyperbolic discounting simultaneously, The program commits people to increasing their savings rate with each future raise. Employees never feel a decrease in take-home pay. The results were extraordinary. Savings rates nearly quadrupled from 3.5% to 13.6% within 4 years. The brilliance is that it exploits hyperbolic discounting instead of fighting it. Future sacrifices feel painless. It's only present sacrifices that feel unbearable. Strategy number 3. Make the future vivid. Remember the Hirschfield study from our first video? People who viewed digitally aged photos of themselves saved 2.3 times more. This works because hyperbolic discounting is driven partly by psychological distance. Your future self is abstract, so your brain discounts their needs. Any technique that makes the future feel concrete and real weakens the hyperbolic curve. Write a letter to your 70-year-old self. Calculate exactly how much your retirement account will hold if you save $200 more per month. Put a photo of your dream retirement home on your refrigerator. Specificity defeats abstraction. Strategy number 4. Use temptation bundling. Katherine Milkman at the Wharton School developed this technique based on hyperbolic discounting research. The idea is simple. Pair an activity you should do but don't want to, like reviewing your budget, with an activity you want to do but shouldn't indulge in too often, like watching your favorite show. Her studies showed that temptation bundling increased the target behavior by 29 to 51%. You're not fighting your impulses. You're redirecting them. Strategy number 5. Shrink the time horizon. Hyperbolic discounting is strongest over long time periods. Saving for retirement in 30 years feels impossible. But saving for a vacation in 6 months feels achievable. Research by Seelan Malcock at Ohio State found that breaking long-term financial goals into weekly or daily targets dramatically increased follow-through. Don't save $12,000 this year. Save $33 today. The math is identical. The psychology is completely different. Your limbic system barely registers $33, but it panics at $12,000. Here's the fundamental insight from decades of hyperbolic discounting research. You are not one person making financial decisions. You are two systems in constant conflict. Your present self, driven by the limbic system, wants everything now. Your future self, driven by the prefrontal cortex, wants security and growth. Every financial decision you make is a negotiation between these two systems. And the present self has a permanent home field advantage because the limbic system is older, faster, and louder. The people who build wealth aren't people with more discipline. They're people who have design systems that remove the present self from the equation entirely. Automatic transfers, locked accounts, payroll deductions, commitment devices. They don't win the negotiation. They cancel it. Your brain can't save money. But your systems can. Build the right ones, and your future self will thank you. If this changed how you think about saving, hit subscribe and turn on notifications. Every Tuesday and Friday, we break down the real science behind your financial brain. Next up, we're revealing 5 psychological tricks that billionaires use with money, backed by research that explains why the ultra-wealthy think about money completely differently than everyone else. Link is on screen now.